Beautiful guys.
Simply gorgeous.
Beautiful gentlemen. Man, what a buck. Damn.
It's a nice buck.
Good.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
Your track job was the first fun track job.
Oh, that was the best.
That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Looking back on it, my biggest regret was opening day. I knew where he'd be. I should have just done a simple hang and bang off the corner in that field, and he would have been toast. But I didn't.
That was our first public land deer hunting trip, and it went extremely well. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun.
Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun. It was a 90-yard shot. Pass through.
And then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what Caleb did.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years. And, not to get too crazy emotional about it, but like
10 years, no buck.
All right, guys. I had to steal it from you.
Episode 71 of the Deer Shop Podcast. And we are live at deer camp in West Virginia. We are sitting around, boys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Everyone got a drink?
No.
You don't got a drink?
Nobody made me a drink.
We already made you drinks.
I want that back.
We're actually,
Well, how can I cheer with somebody else's drink?
I mean, just don't give it back to him.
I want it back.
All right.
We're at deer camp,
Cheers.
So many drinks.
and we are actually celebrating little Chris over here. Just killed his biggest West Virginia buck ever tonight,
He's going to steal my beer.
and we're out of beer. We are out of beer. Is that the last one?
We're at deer camp, and that was the last beer.
We got Bloody Marys. We're good.
We do have Bloody Marys. We got whiskey, plenty of whiskey because I brought it. But that is the last beer.
I
in
didn't
the
even
went
entire
on a
camp.
beer run today,
And
too.
it's pretty
In the gas
good.
station I bought.
Oh,
at the
Isaac!
gas
Look at
station.
Isaac. So Isaac is beyond the camera.
Where'd
He's
you
not
find
on the
those
headsets
at?
today. Set him right here.
Oh,
brother.
those are a
Oh.
couple left in his.
What?
No, don't give it to him. He's got one.
Here.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I got 2 aluminum cans in my backpack unopened.
Oh my!
So we actually do have a few more beers left, everyone.
So you're holding out on us.
I did. I forget. A lot has happened since I put those in there.
He's been hiding them.
He has been hiding. I have been hiding.
He's gonna take him to bed tonight.
That's why he's not coming back next year.
Keep getting told that every year. Chris shot the big buck this year. He's the one that's not coming back.
He's my son. He's got to come back.
Does he have to?
By proxy.
We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
All right, guys, we're at West
You
Virginia
told the
Deer
neighbor it's
Camp.
not your
We've
son.
been here. Some of us have been here since Friday, some since Saturday. It's currently Tuesday night. We have one more day left. We're going to be packing up and rolling out here sometime tomorrow, depending on how the morning hunting goes and the cleanup of the cabin and all that. But it's been a week. It's been a really good week. It's been one of I think it's been one of my favorite weeks.
Yeah.
Up until tonight, it was an average week, but then your buck obviously set it over the top.
Yeah.
I guess to break it down, Kevin came down first. Kevin, when did he come down? Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Kevin came down Wednesday. He's part of the North Carolina crew that comes down here. He got down here Wednesday. Me and Chris, little Chris, we showed up on Friday evening with plans to bow hunt. We pulled the side-by-side down. We had plans to bow hunt. We bought archery tag and all that. And it rained. It rained. I think it rained like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, it was pretty miserable.
It was wet.
Yeah, we woke up.
We did.
We were ready to go. Saturday morning?
Let's back the bus up a little bit. We were gonna hunt Friday night.
We were.
We left your dad's house at about
9:45.
And normally it's about a 4-hour trip. And we
took us 7 hours to get here.
Yeah, with Chris pulling the side-by-side on the trailer on these West Virginia back roads in the rain. We ended up pulling to camp about 3:45, 4 o'clock, so it was too late to hunt. And it was raining anyways. It was miserable weather. So we unloaded everything basically, and we set our alarms and said we're gonna hunt Saturday morning. It's gonna be a beautiful rut November Saturday morning hunt. And I woke up to take a pee about 5 o'clock, and it was still pouring rain.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
I
bad.
just
out.
turned the rest of the alarms off. We ended up sleeping in. Before
Sorry.
we get into that, though, before we get into all that, in the whole week, Matt over here is mad. He's been holding back. I guess
Yeah.
he's been waiting for the moment
Yeah.
when he's on the
Waiting
podcast
for the perfect
again
moment.
to bring it up. That he's not featured in the intro video or the podcast intro audio wise. So Isaac told me we had to redo it anyways. So I'll just make sure that we redo it, and we'll have a clip of Matt somewhere.
It's just been waiting to drop that bomb.
Yeah, there was like 4 video clips where he was there somewhere, like in the background.
I
but,
saw
like,
his
but I
leg.
was not
right,
in
but
the
he's
picture.
yeah, his leg was
I
in the
saw your
shark.
legs.
The one shark, his leg was in it.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, he's kind of in there. He was there for Traveler. He's in there with the shark.
We know he's there,
Yeah.
but I guess that's not good enough.
Listeners don't.
Well, we'll take care of that. We're planning on redoing the intro soon anyways. Every about 30 or 40 episodes, we decide we're just going to make a new intro to keep
Now
it
someone
kinda
else is
fresh.
going to get cut.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
You're not even in the first one.
I'm not in it.
We can beat them together now.
So, Chris, how many podcasts is this now? This is your third or fourth?
Third or fourth, yeah.
Third or fourth. Matt, this is probably your third or fourth.
Yeah.
Chris, you've been in 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah, around there.
And then this is probably about my 65th. But anyways, Saturday came and the whole crew showed up. This year on camp, we had obviously the 4 of us sitting here: Kevin, Spencer, Derek, and Isaac. Did I forget anyone else?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
8
So
of
we had
us?
a total of 8.
Yep.
They were in camp. Saturday was actually, we didn't have much of a Saturday and Sunday fun day like we normally do. We did get some games in on Sunday. Few rounds late Saturday night, but we did a lot of work this year.
Yeah, Sunday was a work day.
Yeah,
It
we
turned into-
we actually weren't planning on replacing the front steps of the cabin, but when Derek was bringing his stuff in, he went through one.
Yeah,
Literally broke right through
the
one.
lightest guy at camp goes
Yeah.
through the steps, which is a problem.
So we had to send Kevin out to get supplies. We redid the steps. We redid the closet inside, added shelving, completely cleaned that out. We hung 2 new stands. Is that right?
Yeah.
2 new stands
Yeah.
on
Yeah, 2 new
Saturday. One Saturday, one Sunday.
Yep.
We added 2 new stands to the camp. We actually spent some time at the neighboring camp this year. A couple times we went down there, talked to them. They ended
came
up
up
coming in here and playing cornhole and horseshoes with us on Sunday night for a couple hours, which is cool.
Yeah, shout out to John Boy and Elijah and Hightower, they call him.
Don't they call him Tiny?
Well, they called him Tiny, but then I heard them calling him Hightower as well.
He's a very tall man.
He's a tall dude.
You guys used to, back in the day, before we all came down here, you guys used to meet up with all the camps and have party time here. Back in like the 90s.
Well, it was the
early
it was the
2000s.
locals who,
Other local hunters and all that.
yeah, local hunters. They'd come up and hang out with us, throw some horseshoes, everything like that.
As soon as you pop the beer cap, here they come. Over the hills.
It's like the old Bush commercials, like, and all the animals are looking.
Most of them have passed away, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think
Pretty
there's
much.
very many of your guys' original group.
There's nobody left.
Jake's in bed, so Jake's still around.
yeah.
Other than that guy that we saw today, he never used to come. hang
No,
out?
he never.
I don't
come
even
in.
know who he is.
No, he didn't come and hang out. The last one you guys probably saw who would come up here was Rocky.
Yeah, yep.
He came up. A few
He came
years
in a
ago.
couple years ago and sat, it was a rainy night. He came in and sat in the cabin and talked with your grandpa for a while, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep. Yeah. Then he passed away. I think 2 years ago now.
It was like that winter,
Yeah.
or before we came back the next year.
So, but Rocky, he was around for a long time.
Yeah, and things are changing around here. There's a lot of new landowners.
Mm-hmm.
So there's guys buying property up around here. There's new camps around here, and we've been doing a good job of getting to know them and build relationships with them, and it helps. Instead of having like a Hatfields McCoy Civil War type thing, it helps to actually be on good terms with the neighboring camps. So you can track deer on each other's property, you can access using each other's trails, and
Right.
I think it just works out better that way.
I kind of like the Hatfield McCoy.
I
Made
know.
it a ton easier though.
Yeah, I
for
know,
years.
the old
You were
way.
able to get up top.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been able to access a road. The last couple of years, there's a road on the backside of camp. It ends up on your guys' property, but doesn't start on your property.
Correct.
But we've actually got to know the last 2 technical owners of that road and have got permission to use it. So we've started to have to bring side-by-sides and four-wheelers down so we can actually drive to the top now, which saves about an hour and 1,000 calories and change of clothes every time, because walking to the top from this bottom
Is
something.
it's a
Look at
bear.
my
Now I
calories.
can get back up there.
Right. Big Chris is able to hunt up top again for the first time. And you probably stopped hunting up there, 5 or 6 years ago? Just your knees.
3 years ago,
3.
I think. Yep.
Well, yeah, it used to be one trip
You'd
up to
go
the
up
top,
once
and that was
stay
about
there all
it.
day, then
I would hunt Monday, and that was it.
Yeah. Then you'd hunt the bottom.
Yep.
So
So this year, Sunday Fun Day, like we talked about, wasn't as fun as years past, but we did get some in. We have another new addition to the camp. Matt purchased a Starlink, and the fact that we've had internet down here is kind of strange. I'm not gonna lie, it's
weird.
It makes it feel cool and homey, kind of. You're able to check in with all the wife and kids and all that stuff, but it is weird because I'm used to having only service at the tippy top and going multiple days without being able to use your phone for anything. And
Yeah, next year that's not coming.
I might get murdered in my sleep.
we actually watched a whole bunch of football this weekend. We ended up bringing the TV outside here during cornhole, and we're watching football
First time ever.
for the first time ever, which is it's cool. It adds another element to the deer camp.
Grandpa was rolling in his grave.
Grandpa probably is rolling in his grave. That's a fact.
I don't know. I think he would have been probably pretty excited to see a TV out here with some football playing.
I mean, we did finally throw his
Honestly.
radio away.
Yeah, that thing was rough.
It went in the
He's
fire.
going to be rolling in his grave for that. The original 1989 RCA plastic radio.
We still have the clock, though.
We do. Your dad's been trying to get rid of it, but
There's no hands on it anymore.
no, I hear it clicking though.
Yeah, it clicks.
When you sit up there in that rocking chair, it clicks.
Yeah, you hear it clicking.
Oh, that one.
I thought
Yeah.
a bomb was going off earlier.
Yeah,
I was
still
putting my
clicking.
stuff on.
I
I'm like,
I
what
haven't
is
even
that?
checked the time to see if it's even remotely. Even
I don't
close
think it's
to-
even close.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think it's moved.
No. Well, it's cool to see, though.
It's right twice a day.
Yeah, your dad's been trying to throw away some of the old decorations too that I've been sliding underneath the bed.
You got to hide
Hide
them.
from him,
You
yeah.
got to update.
We have been. There's a Whitetails Unlimited sign in there now. You guys brought some taxidermy down. There's a sweet deer head in there.
You say we got to update, but then we bring Starlink, but you don't like that update.
I don't like that. No, just deer heads and pictures are fine.
What if I put a deer head on it?
On the Starlink?
Yeah.
Well, that'll work.
I mean, we have been watching a lot of hunting, to be fair. We got to watch Escanaba in the moonlight last night, Monday night, which I think helped in your taking of your deer. I think traditionally that movie brings good luck to somebody who watches it
Yeah.
in the group. And
I stayed up the whole time. I watched
You
the
did.
whole thing, and
You did.
it definitely brought me some luck. That's for
what
sure.
were your thoughts on it, Chris? Isaac's been kicking around the idea of what's the word? I don't want to say reenact, but basically reenact the movie. The first 30 minutes with this camp, have characters be, have guys play the characters and try to redo it. I'd have to see how that would go. I think it'd be a little bit tough because I think we'd just be laughing the whole time and everyone would have a hard time.
Yeah.
Like staying in character for the acting part because
Right.
none of us were stage people, none of us were actors, none of us did any of that.
I don't think anybody knows what the movie is.
I think people who watch this podcast would have an idea what that movie is.
If you've seen it, go in the comments.
Yeah, Escanaba into Moonlight, Jeff Daniels about Upper Peninsula, Michigan deer camp and UFOs and aliens and bear walks and going back to the beginning and all that shit.
Yep. That's what I did today. Went back to the beginning.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Sunday night, we had our traditional Thanksgiving meal. Kevin bailed out. He actually stayed a little bit later than he said he was, but he bailed out Sunday evening. The Thanksgiving meal was good. We may or may not have forgot the stuffing in the oven.
You weren't supposed to say that.
I did though.
We ate it, though.
Do you think Brenda's really going to listen to this?
She does listen to it.
Brenda, we did eat your stuffing, but it was more of a dessert stuffing.
We kind of forgot about it.
Kind of forgot about it in the oven. We did eat the hell out of them pies.
Yeah.
We ate the hell out of them pies.
Yeah, we did.
The pies are good. And then Monday morning, first day of deer camp, deer hunting, I should say, since we didn't get to do any of the archery. Chris was in a new spot. We hung you a new stand this year, kind of at the tip top by the gas. We call it the gas line. These woods are kind of hard to explain. They're big, open hardwoods, but there's a very grassy.
Knoll at the top.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. It's like big open woods with a lot of grass growing, kind of like a field per se. But we hung Chris a stand up there. He said it was the greatest stand ever, like all the stands we hang for him.
Yeah.
But Chris sat up there. Little Chris went to the buck tree. If you've ever watched any of our stuff, you know about that stand. I went to mine. Matt went to his new stand. We hung Matt a new stand up in his 8-point ridge, what we always call it. Your stand's actually pretty tall. We took a rung out of Big Chris's, but your stand we hung all the way up. It's like, what, 22 feet or something?
I think it's 20.
20? Yeah. I feel like for ladder stands, that's tall.
Especially up on the top of the hill, too, because you can see literally everything.
Makes it feel farther.
And you can feel the wind, too.
We had Spencer, who was a first-time deer hunter. He was here. He hunted the mineral lick stand.
Yeah.
And then Derek went to his spot, and Isaac went up on his mountain that he's been going to for the last 4 or 5 years. He's got his own little ridge. Monday was slow. Derek did kill a 4-point in the morning, but the rest of us, actually, I'll let Matt tell his own story later, but the rest of us besides Matt, me, Chris, and Big Chris, we just watched a bunch of does throughout the day, and I don't even know. I wanted to bring this up on the podcast. I guess we could call them spikes, but they're almost they're bigger than a button buck, so they're not as small as a button buck, but they don't have antlers. They just have like
spindly little spikes.
They're literally half an inch long, maybe
if that,
in the size of a pencil, and there's more than one of them. Like they're it's almost like they broke everything off except for these tiny little white projections in the top of their head. They look like does because they're not rubbing. They have their necks are skinny.
They were chasing does around.
I know, it's the strangest thing. They're literally the smallest bucks you could possibly imagine. I mean, less than 1-inch spikes, but they're bucks. But I saw 2 of them. You saw at least one or two. Did you see any of them?
I don't know. I never
might have.
Yeah, I didn't glass any of them. They all look like does to me.
He only shoots the big ones.
Yep.
Apparently, yeah. Matt had a little bit of a different experience, though, on his opening day. Matt went up on his mountain, and I'll just let him go from there. But
yeah, I think altogether on Monday I saw 28 does, 2 of the little spikes, a 7-point that I could have shot at last light, but I thought that it was going to run downhill if I shot it, and I didn't feel like dealing with it.
The wrong side of the hill.
Yeah, into the neighbors. And then when I went back up at lunchtime, I jumped one of our big ones.
You still don't know which one it was, do you?
No, we have to go through pictures again.
You don't. You know for a fact that it probably wasn't the one Chris killed.
No, it's not that one.
He says antlers were dark.
They're more of like a yellowish color and thicker.
I think it was probably the 9, but
it might have been.
We'll
I'd have to look at it again on the cameras.
The 9 is like the resident biggest buck this year, or buck that we all were kind of shooting for. We've had him on camera 2 years in a row. He was actually a 10 last year. He lost a tie and became a 9 this year. But years past, the deer that we've all been after, the mountain monster, we've talked about him plenty in the podcast and the videos. It seems like, and I'll have to go through and really do a hard look at every picture sometime when I get home, but it seems like, based on all the trail cameras and everything, that the mountain monster has finally died somewhere and is gone.
Yeah.
He's been in our cameras for 4 years, and last year he was at least 7 or 8 years old. And we only had one picture of him on one camera that we always get him on, and no one saw him. And then this year it just appears like he's either not around or living somewhere else, or, finally succumbed after 7 or 8 years of being a mountain buck in this terrain, which is very rough for deer.
Well, last year, did you think you saw him in the morning? Missed him possibly?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years
okay.
ago.
So we didn't even see him.
Matt
on
missed
hook
him the
last
year that he was in here heavy.
Yeah.
We had him on low cameras that year, high cameras, but last year was just that one over by Isaac, where Isaac hunts.
Right.
And there was a lot of sign over in Isaac's area, but he had a pretty lousy hunt, I think. He said he saw, 2 does and maybe one of those sort of spikes, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt jumped one of the big ones in the afternoon going back up. He comes back. Matt always comes back Monday around lunchtime to work on our Monday night traditional meal, which is a pork butt that we smoke on the pit boss all day.
Yeah, we might have to switch that to a different day so you can stay up there all day.
Well, Isaac was going to take care of it for me. I had a plan to stay up there, but that wind was brutal.
Oh, yeah, you froze.
I was an icicle. I was so cold that I had to come back and try to warm up.
I was getting kind of hit by the wind, but it wasn't affecting me like it was you. You were. I mean, your stand is literally at the top. Mine's down a little bit, so I'm still kind of cupped.
Yeah, I feel like we're blocked pretty well.
Right. We are. And Matt was not. Matt was completely. Plus, he's got that skyscraper 20-foot tall stand.
Right.
Yeah, everything comes up that valley and just goes right over top. Mm-hmm. But the good thing with that, though, is my scent is nowhere to be found for any of those deer. I didn't get winded by any of them. I had some that were licking the bottom of my tree.
Normally, we call it Matt's 8-point ridge because normally Matt, when he does kill deer here on that, and he hunts that ridge primarily, when he does kill deer, it's always an 8-point. You've killed a couple different 8-points up there, or had encounters with 8-points up there, close miss or whatever. But we call it Matt's 8-point ridge, and I mean, this year it seems like that was the hot spot. I kind of feel like all the reaction you had today, we can just, no one really. Nothing else to really talk about on Monday. Derek killed a 4-pointer here low by the camp early, drug it into the camp. Just a small buck. There wasn't much to talk about with that one. But switching to Tuesday, I feel like with the sun popping out, all the deer were up on your ridge because your ridge is more south. I guess technically it would be east than ours, than the ridge we hunt. And it was getting smoked by the sun today. And you had a bunch of deer up there, you said, all morning long.
Yeah. When I was walking out, too, like I was sneaking, there was enough wind where they couldn't hear anything. So I got walking out, I was just creeping super slow. And I got up on probably 5 or 6 within 40 yards, just walking up on them. I had no idea.
So on our ridge this morning, it was windy early and then died.
Yeah, we had some rain early, too.
Yeah, it did rain a little bit. And then the wind just died off and it was deathly still. I had an actual spike that actually had antlers come through before first light, and then 2 does and one of those almost maybe sort of spikes, whatever we want to call them. And then I did a little bit of a mosey. Me and Chris decided about 11 o'clock since he hadn't seen a deer yet.
No, I didn't see anything this morning.
We decided that I'm going to go shake things up. I was going to do kind of a small push towards him, so I did a mosey up through the high part of the property, and I found one bed. I didn't push any deer on that mosey, which is kind of weird.
Nope.
But I did find one good bed up above my stand in a spot where I could see down both edges. He was directly on top, and he could see down the left side and the right side of the ravine. This is a solo big bed. I'm assuming that's probably one of the bucks that we've been after was bedding there. And if he could have seen me coming from 200-300 yards away and just dip down the other side, I would have no clue he was there. But
right.
The neighboring properties that got all bought up, like we talked about earlier, there's no one hunting them now. So they're bought for recreational use, summer riding and all that kind of thing. The owners do hunt, but he has so much land now that he's not able to hit it all. And there was no shot. I heard no shots back there. Maybe one on Monday. But
I think he also tagged out early too. So
it's kind of
around.
There's no one poking around in there moving those deer around. So
Right.
there wasn't a lot of deer coming up over the top this year. Back to Monday, I heard 151 shots Monday. I counted every single one, and I got up to 151. I think today's count was including your two, was 27 or 29. I didn't hear that many. Did you count today?
Half of the 151 is guys down here target practicing.
I think they came back from hunting at lunchtime and just shot their guns a bunch.
After they missed.
Yeah, because there's no way at lunchtime that all those shots were at deer. I mean, maybe they were, but there was a lot of shots around between 12 and 2. There was the normal influx of shots between 11 and 12 when people are leaving to go get lunch and stuff. And then between 12 and 2, I heard a lot of shooting that I think was target. I think you're right.
I don't think you get 5 shots at a deer.
No. I mean, crazier things have happened. But
I don't know. It seemed like everybody was shooting around us, but us on this property.
yeah.
Did you guys hear that shot at like 6:30 this morning?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
the
I
one
did.
early morning. Yeah.
That shot went off, and I looked at my watch, and I'm like, there is no way that anybody is seeing
it was dark.
anything
So
right
dark.
now.
That
I don't
was
I don't think I heard that one.
That was a desk pop.
I think I was still walking
Or
in.
somebody
at
was
that
trying to
time.
get in their stand, and their gun went off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was sitting down. Yeah, you were probably still walking. I was sitting.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one.
I heard the shot, and I was like, "Ooh, that's not good."
I like just got up to the top, and I was like, that is way too early.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even see my hand in front of my face.
It was
right now.
dark. It was way dark this morning
Yeah.
compared to yesterday.
Yeah,
So
it was a
Monday
long
morning,
time.
it got at 6:51, which is technical legal light. It was you could shoot 20, 30 yards if you wanted to. Like it was
Yeah.
kind of light up. Man, today at 6:51, it was black. Couldn't see nothing. Plus, it was raining off and on and all that too. But we covered Monday into Tuesday. We all went back to our same spots. Everyone went back to their same spots except for Derek and Spencer. Derek didn't go out. Spencer ended up going to Derek's spot.
Well, no, Derek ended
Derek
up taking
went with Spencer.
Spencer.
Did
up
Derek
there.
take him there?
Yeah, they got there by like 7.
So they weren't out of bed when we left, though.
right, but then they got up there by 7 a.m.
I mean,
because it's
yeah, I
right
mean
there.
that's all you got. Technically, all you got. We left here about 6:10 this morning, and they got up whenever they could just walk out. But like I said, the morning was slow, so I moseyed. We got to the side by side. Big Chris, you called Big Chris, and he said, "I'm staying."
Yep.
Like, I ain't coming down.
Called
I'm
him
up there. I'm able to stay up there.
Yeah, about 10:30, I called Dad and said, we'll push that kind of top in between him and I. And he's like, do what you want. He's like, I'm staying till dark. He said, I don't want to wait in the woods for an hour. Come get me by dark. Okay.
What time did you eat your sandwich this morning?
9:30.
That's all right. I think I ate mine about 9:33. So
I waited on Monday. I waited till noon, or maybe like 11 to eat my
you
sandwich.
texted me.
Today I ate mine at 9:30.
Yeah, you texted me on Monday morning. You're like, is it okay to eat my Samo now? And I was like, yeah, I ate mine at 9:30. And it was like
I ate my
11:30.
sandwich and all my snacks by noon today.
Yeah.
So we left Big Chris up. We came down. Matt and Isaac were down here as well. Derek and Spencer were packing up to leave. We actually, for lunch today, we came down. We cooked up Matt's gobbler from the Southern Ohio farm. Your guys' Southern Ohio farm they shot this year.
Yeah, the one he pushed me over on.
Yeah, on the video. We
Grow up a little bit.
we marinated it in pickle juice and then breaded it and fried it.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was good. And Isaac made like some kind of homemade, he called it an aioli of some kind,
Yeah,
some sauce.
aioli sauce.
We should have saved you some.
I would have liked to try
I
that.
know. We should have saved you some. It got smoked.
It was good.
First turkey killed on the property. I didn't get a bite.
Yeah.
No.
You're being manly though and hunting all day. We were gonna send you some up with the drone, try to drop it.
And how'd that work out?
We lost it. We could probably go find it. You can
Well,
try it.
how did that work out? You said about 11:50 while we were eating that said turkey. You said a buck came through, a good one.
I did have a buck come through. I just wouldn't stop.
You said he never stopped.
Never stopped. I probably watched him for 700 yards at 100 yards away and never slowed down.
He was obviously bumped from someone. You think?
Oh, he had to be.
Tail up, tail down.
I wasn't looking at the tail.
You look at the rack.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how big he actually was
Yeah.
Why didn't you run after him like the Indians did?
because I didn't have a spear.
So if you're sitting in that, I'm still trying to piece this together. If you're sitting in that stand, it was back off to your left.
It was behind the stand.
Yeah. Okay. So it actually ran this lip right here in front of us.
No, they ran
Neighbors.
my dad's old bull.
Okay. Okay. Above where I sat tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would have been right where my spot was.
Possibly by the buck tree.
Maybe.
No,
Well, if it could have came from there.
it came from the bottom.
Okay, well,
I seen it running up the hill.
never mind.
Did he? So he crossed over like where we used to see that gobbler and then down into their camp area.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Yep,
makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. We headed back out about. What time did we head back out?
2 something, because when I got up,
Matt
to
was
my
the first
stand,
one to leave.
it was
He was
about-
like, "I'm going."
Yeah, 3 p.m. when I got to my stand or to my tree.
We didn't drive up this afternoon. We all hunted low. Well, Matt walked up to his stand again, but the rest of us all hunted low, Isaac included. We wanted to just change the scenery up, hunt from the ground. I ended up walking almost all the way to the top. Didn't like what I saw. Came back down. I could see you. I could see Big Chris from where I was sitting. But
You're
you
probably
never.
400 yards
So you didn't see
away.
me when I was sitting.
I don't know what you were doing down there. All I could see is orange.
There was when I ended up sitting down, I was like, I put a tree between us just in case, just.
I was like, what's this idiot doing? I'm trying to hunt.
Well, you were out of your stand.
I didn't get in my stand today.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It was scary.
Windy.
I didn't actually see any deer this afternoon. I heard some at the very last light. On the other face, so in front of me, there was some deep down. But when you're looking at those, for people to understand, these bowls and these hollers, I mean, it's so thick and huge and vast.
Yeah, you're not seeing
You can
the
hear them,
blast.
but there's no chance of seeing some of that stuff.
Might catch a flash.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, we did. Speaking of catching flash, while we were eating those turkey nuggets, there was some camp deer today. There was a couple does right here, like 100 yards into the woods, up on the face, just walking
Behind our
around.
cabin.
They laid down a few times, and then when we went inside, Spencer and Derek were sitting here by the fire. They said they ran down across the road and went up that way. Just didn't have a care in the world.
I didn't get no turkey nuggets.
No, I know. Next one. We'll get you for the next one.
You're shooting the next one.
Yeah.
What about
Well,
me?
you ain't going again.
I'd like to shoot one.
We've been trying. If only you were a little bit taller, you'd have been able to shoot that one.
Yeah.
And
shot
if
a
Matt
double.
wouldn't have knocked you down.
Oh, Matt kept pushing me.
Yeah. Resting his gun on your head.
Thanks, Matt.
So when I finally got to my spot that I decided on this afternoon, I'd only been sitting about 10, 15 minutes when I heard doosh, doosh.
It took you that long to get to your spot?
Well, I went up top and sat for a while, but with the sun and everything, it was too thick. I couldn't see anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking, I'm like, I thought going up high would help. It doesn't.
Because it was, about 4 something probably when I shot.
Yeah, probably later than
Probably.
that. I don't know. My phone, I don't even think I had my phone on me.
Yeah, I didn't even mess with my phone. I don't
It was
get-
4:10 and 37 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
about.
That's what time
That
it
sounds
was.
about right.
Um,
Sounds
I
good
heard
to me.
Chris shoot, and I knew it was Chris, like from where he was going, the echo of him tell that story. I thought I heard Matt shoot, but he said it was across the street and it was the neighbors. But like where I was tucked in that bowl, after Chris shot, maybe only like 20 minutes later, I thought I heard you shoot. And then 20 minutes after that, there was another shot that was just a little bit farther away, where I was like, oh, maybe that was Isaac down on the other side, because I know he was down in your bowl.
Yeah.
Isaac hunted low in Matt's bowl today.
Sometimes it's just hard to tell where these gunshots come
it's
from,
extreme.
especially
in
when
these
you're
hills,
back
it's
there.
like impossible.
Yeah, they just echo through.
Every
do.
year we're down here, these guys are like, "Did you hear that donkey today?" Like, no, I did not hear that donkey.
So,
And they say it's right next to me.
so
There is
I,
not a donkey.
me
down
and
here.
Isaac,
The
you heard
donkey
it.
sounds
I
like
heard
it's on
the
top
donkey
of
You heard
it.
it?
Oh yeah, I've heard
So
it.
No donkey.
5 of the 6 of us heard a donkey all day long,
Dude.
just all day long, going crazy, and you never heard
There
it once.
is no donkey.
He's over here somewhere. There is.
I don't know where he's at, but I cannot hear it from my spot.
He's
I
on
feel-
your side.
I feel like you're messing with us and you're making the donkey noises
Well, that might be. but-
because there's
Remember that
definitely a
time you guys
donkey.
didn't hear that turkey in the same spot? Just
Yeah.
saying.
Dude, there wasn't a turkey there.
It's
There was,
wild.
plain as day. So how did your afternoon hunt go, Matt? We'll let Chris finish her off, so we'll get to everyone else first.
I got up there. Isaac went to my side, so we were hoping that he was going to kind of push some stuff to me. When I got up to my stand, I got up on the platform and looked back towards the neighbors, and there were 4 does walking up the hillside, and that's all I saw at night.
Damn.
I heard some other stuff that I thought might be deer that were coming up, but I kind of hung out in my stand pretty long. I didn't get down here until everybody was back.
Yeah,
so-
you were by far
It
the
was
last.
Dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Chris had already came back, drove all the way up and got Chris and came back down, and you were still
That's
coming through the woods.
a pretty far walk.
It is.
too.
It is a pretty far. It's steep too, especially
Yeah.
at night. You don't want to fall and get hurt.
I got a walking stick. I see it over there.
So that leaves Chris.
Well,
Little Chris.
how Dad's afternoon
He
go?
saw that buck and that was it.
I said
That's all.
That was
He
all,
just saw
huh?
that buck and that was it.
Man.
Little Chris walked up in the
rough.
woods and saw a dead deer, and he went up and claimed it.
Yeah, pretty much. No, so I went to.
When you don't know where to start, you go back to the beginning.
That's right, and that's literally what I did. So I used to hunt this beech tree when I was younger, and I mean, I think everybody's pretty much hunted it. My dad, Gramps has hunted there before.
Been a lot of deer killed at that
Yeah,
tree.
been a lot of deer killed at that
Derek
tree.
said he killed his first deer there.
Yeah, Derek killed his first deer there. Uncle Scott has hunted there.
I've killed deer there.
Yep.
I hunted there.
Darren shot one over your shoulders there before.
Yep.
You've hunted there before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Me and
so
you
have
went up there, and
right,
then I
Caleb?
went up there by myself the one time.
Yeah.
I actually was gonna go back there tonight.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of my plans. I wasn't
Oh.
gonna go back up to my top, or I would have left my stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like
The first time you brought me here, we hunted there,
Yeah.
and then we turkey hunted there. That's where the decoys rolled down the
Yeah,
hill.
we rolled the decoys down the hill.
when it was pissing
Oh,
rain.
piss and rain.
Yeah, it was a little rough that year.
2017.
I think that was our first time turkey hunting down there too.
It was. That's when we restarted turkey hunting down here because your dad and your grandpa had done some turkey hunting. And
Right.
Your grandpa shot one with a rifle and blew all the bones away. All that
Yeah,
whole
they're
story.
like Jello.
And then we decided, hey, let's just go down to your cabin and start turkey hunting down there because we always see turkeys when we're deer hunting.
Right.
And then that disaster unfolded. But
Yeah. So, so I decided that I was gonna go, back to where it started and hit up the beech tree, and just had a feeling that might come up on something good. And lo and behold, came out with what do we call them? No brow
one brow.
or one brow?
We
Yeah,
call him one brow.
yeah, one brow. So he's on our hit list. We had him on camera throughout the week and last couple of months and everything like that.
Smoke and scrapes on the video cams. We got some really good trail camera video of him,
Yeah, we got some good camera video of him.
which is cool.
Went up there. I wasn't sitting more than maybe 30 minutes. I had 3 does come down on me. Got them on the GoPro for a little while.
The funny part is off of where Isaac hunts, but he wasn't there tonight.
Yes.
It's the mountain Isaac hunts.
Literally came off the
Right.
top. Like I said, got them on GoPro. They were just kind of acting a little skittish, kept looking up there. Go back to eating, kept looking up there, and I just, stayed still and started looking up that way, saw a body moving up there, and he kind of popped over the top, came down that same run that they were on. Those 3 took off, and then he was kind of on a trot, trying to follow them, picked out a spot.
You didn't have to stop him.
No, I didn't stop him. I actually shot him moving.
Well,
So
for one, you had to rack your rifle.
yeah. So I had my rifle unloaded from when Caleb and I came down in the side by side. Never had another bullet in there. So
At least
Yeah.
you remember that before you pulled the trigger.
yeah, I did remember that before I pulled the trigger. I was like, you know what? I don't think I have one in. So I quietly re-racked it. He had no idea. He was just kind of, coming down the hill, picked out a, opening. He presented himself, shot him. He ran about 10 yards, and then he stood behind a tree for a little while with just like his neck and head out. I mean, it was seconds. Put one through his neck. And
Yeah, it was the second shot was pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, he was done after that. Slid down the hill to a nice flat, and yeah, I mean, I knew he was big. When I saw him coming through the woods, didn't know which one he was or anything like that. Obviously, I just knew he had antlers that were outside the ears and tall. So went over to him, got it on all on GoPro as well. Walked over, picked him up, saw that he had that one brow. I was like,
Yep.
oh, this is the guy we were after.
I know who that is.
There was
So,
4 deer on our hit list, and he was one of the 4
Yep.
going into this week. What card did you draw?
I drew an 8.
You
I
shot
did
an 8?
draw an 8.
You
Yeah.
shot an 8.
Yeah, I drew an 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. We'd have to go back, but I'm pretty sure I drew an 8.
It's on the video. Yeah, I don't remember. I know I drew a 9. You drew an ace or a king.
King.
Yeah,
King.
king.
Yeah.
I drew a 9.
So yeah, yours.
And you
I
probably saw him.
I might have.
yeah, you did. Yeah, I think you did see the 9 up there. But wow, drew an 8 and shot an 8.
Yeah.
And
Drew
won
an
the
8.
buck pool for the year.
Shot an 8.
Oh,
Yep.
now wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean there is still time.
There's
That is-
that wide 8 still.
There's a wide 8. There's a 9 and a 10. So
Yeah.
we have deer that can beat him.
I'm after the wide 8.
We just got to make sure we wake up in the morning and actually go.
It's happened before where Dad has called his buck and he's gone out there and killed it.
Your dad does like that wide 8.
Yeah.
He's nice.
He is nice.
He is
I'm
nice.
going to
Nice.
draw a buck on a poster and hang it out there. And shoot it. It'll be a 9
I'll set my alarm
or 10.
for the morning, but I'll play it by ear by how I feel.
I mean, I'll drink coffee with the guys in the morning, but I'm not
Then
going
you go
out.
back to sleep, right? Take a nap.
You know, start cleaning up and stuff.
It might
like
be a
that.
sleep in and mosey around the top kind of morning.
Yeah.
What's kind of nice is if I go out hunting, I come back, everything's done.
Yeah.
That is true.
That
If you
is.
go out hunting, by the time you come back, we'll be done.
Nah,
You just gotta be back here by probably 11.
I'll be done by 8.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So that's your biggest year down here.
Yeah, that's my biggest deer. I got a 7-point when I was, I don't know, however old, when I was sitting with my dad.
11.
Yeah, about 11 years old. I've had some smaller basket 8s and stuff like that, but spread wise, that's the biggest
Yeah.
I've had. He's nice.
We haven't scored him. We might score him in the shop at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go anything
Yeah,
crazy. but-
I was going to bring that. I already had my plan for this podcast before you did what you did tonight. I was going to talk about how we come down here for the experience. No one comes down to Appalachian America, West Virginia, hoping to kill a monster buck. That's not why people are hunting down here. It's the experience. It's the woods. It's the food. It's the hanging out with the guys. The camaraderie. There is an opportunity to kill a really good buck every time we come down here, but it doesn't happen very often, obviously.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get to kill a good one. And
Yeah.
this year it was Chris. Chris gets to walk away with one of those trophy-sized bucks from West Virginia. It doesn't happen every year. It happens every 3 or 4 years, it seems, maybe. But
No, he's going to be the first deer I mount, actually, too.
Yeah.
I don't have any deer mounts, and he'll probably be my first one.
I think he's definitely worthy of a mount.
Yeah.
Matt mounted his biggest one from West Virginia. I got my biggest one from West Virginia. Your dad's got his in a box in the basement somewhere. His biggest one
Now
from
it's out in
West
the
Virginia.
barn now.
Is it in the? Oh, you got your man shed. Your new she shed.
Actually, it's in the goat shed.
Oh, it's
in the goat
the
shed.
goat shed.
Yeah.
We gotta
Hasn't
get
made it
that
to
buck
the new
on
one.
and we'll measure it. We'll have you come over to the shop sometime. We'll have the ultimate measure off to see which West Virginia buck's the biggest of them all. I think you might have a chance actually. Yours is big.
Think I got it.
What year was that?
No clue.
2000, 99, 2005.
No clue.
It was a while ago.
I've been coming for 30-some years down here.
Yeah.
Well, you killed him before I started coming down, didn't you?
Yeah.
At 9?
And what was your first year?
Jeez, like probably 97,
Don't look at me. I have no clue.
somewhere maybe around there.
So yeah, it had to be in the first 5 or 6 years of the camp.
Well, the first 3 years, I didn't get a deer.
So it had to be 95 or 96.
Probably, because I was what?
That was the year
well,
you guys killed the hell out of them, right?
Oh, every year we'd kill the hell out of them.
You guys would spend a whole week here though.
Yeah, 7 days.
Saturday to Saturday.
We do 5 now. 5 or 6 sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, we get to hunt 2.5 of those.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like via the trail cameras, we really miss an opportunity to be down here in late October. They were running. They were running hard, daylighting. All the mature bucks were on camera a lot in October. By the time we get down here, all the other camps are down here ripping 4-wheelers, shooting guns, playing music. All the camps do the same thing. So like, the deer, they are around obviously because you kill them, but they're not running around all day in daylight come gun season.
You guys used to do a bunch of drives too, though, right?
We did, and everybody else did
Everybody
around
else did.
us. We just sat and waited for them to run by.
Come out
That's
with
not
pots
really
and pans.
happening
Yeah, they
now.
did the old pots and pans drives.
There'd be 20 guys doing a drive.
Yeah. It was nothing on Thanksgiving Day where they'd be coming out with pots and pans and just walking the hills.
If you
Knacking
just
'em.
sat, you're guaranteed to get a deer pretty much.
Yeah. Which is crazy because over on my side, I've seen one person in 8 or 9 years.
That was their favorite area.
Yeah, they'd walk that for sure.
I've
Yeah, I
never
think-
been down in that bottom, but
It
that's where
does.
everything runs.
It does seem like, even though we feel like there's a lot of guys hunting around us, that there's definitely less hunters than there was back then.
Yeah.
You guys,
Definitely.
Everybody kind of sticks to their own property. It
Yeah, they're
seems
not
like at
doing
this
these-
point anymore.
Yeah, which is nice,
Yeah.
honestly. But no one's doing these huge, like you said, 20-man deer drives, pushing entire hollers and ridges. I mean, that's
It could be the second week.
yeah.
Yeah.
For all we know, they might
We'd
be.
get them on camera if they were.
Yeah, and we don't get a lot of trespassers or guys hunting on camera at all. I mean, that doesn't paint the whole picture, but a lot of our cameras are on trails and passing places.
Well, the only
we gotta
one
walk.
we get on camera is Kevin.
Yeah, right. He's down here walking all over the place before we got here, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter after all.
Right.
Able to kill your biggest buck this year, Chris.
Yep.
Anyone else got anything to add?
We did get one in Ohio on the new farm.
Yeah, are you gonna tell the story, or do you not want to tell the story?
Made a great shot.
Yeah, Big Chris shot the first buck off the Gore farm in Southern Ohio this year too. 8-point.
Yes, sir.
We had to make it happen.
So you guys have killed.
Yeah.
You've killed one doe, one buck, and the gobbler now.
Yep. Gobbler and the buck, same year.
Yeah.
We had to break the ice, so.
Chris says he wants to get down there maybe for some black powder or something, stack up some does.
Yeah, we need to shoot some does.
The cabin's coming along. That's a podcast for another day, but the cabin in Southern Ohio is coming along well. Water's in. The well is dug. The septic is built.
The water's run into the house. We just got to hook up the toilets and stuff.
Yeah, they're going to do all the connections. It's going to be weird having indoor plumbing. I'm still going to shit in the woods.
What is wrong with you?
just because of the experience. I've had to do for the last 2 years down there. What's the difference?
We have a heater. You can just flip a switch and the heat blows down on you.
I'm still gonna shit in the bucket upstairs.
Yeah.
So
how are you going to how are you going to be able to use that bathroom with all the stuff that's in there?
I'm going to use the bucket upstairs too while you guys are sleeping.
No,
We still got to finish the bunk room
You
upstairs.
do that
Yeah.
now.
we do have to finish the upstairs.
You said for a fact that it'd be finished by deer season, and we just didn't finish
I
it.
know.
He didn't say what deer season.
That's true. That's
I
actually
suck.
very factual. But yeah, is the bathroom cleaned out?
No.
No.
When are the kitchen cabinets going in?
We figure you get back at it again in spring after deer season's over and everything.
Yeah. What's the heater system down there right now?
Just a electric fake fireplace type deal.
Because it might get cold next week.
Yeah, it's plenty enough.
Because it's supposed to be down in like the 20s.
Yeah, that thing heats up though.
It's good.
It really does.
Are you going to do one of those garage heaters like we have here?
I would
eventually?
like to, but we got to run a 220 or 240.
220. Yeah.
220.
So that garage heater that we have in this cabin, it does a good job, but it's not the same as the propane. But it's
Well,
definitely more convenient.
Yeah, it doesn't heat the bones of the house.
Right.
You
It
know?
doesn't have like that radiant
Because it's up in the
warmth.
corner in the roof, though. I mean, up in the corner of the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
it's got
just
that.
blowing down.
It's
I know.
electric heat though. It's like
It still
it's
doesn't
just
heat the
different.
bones. The floor
Upstairs is
cold.
hot.
Does it get hot? I haven't been up there yet this year. Is it hot up there?
Yeah, I know. I've seen that.
Yeah, you have the plug-in, like the old lady underneath the desk foot heater.
Yeah, the old.
It's because it's been freezing.
the old
up there with
meter's
that thing.
smoking.
Yeah, this is definitely.
It might be a $56 electric bill.
This will be.
Why don't you just send it our way? We'll take care of that.
This is going to be the highest electric
We'll
bill.
tell
we've
you
had.
every year. We'll take care of it.
I'll slip some money
Yeah,
in
you
your pocket.
say that, but you never see it happen.
Well, you got to give your dad.
Should this be the time where we let both of them know that Dad's moving down to the downstairs bedroom and Matt's moving into Dad's bedroom?
I don't
We're
think
taking over the big
I
room?
don't think he's giving up his bedroom.
I really don't care where I sleep, alone. They should have come.
We'd have to give up the bunk beds if we do that.
I know. I like the bunk beds.
I do like the bunk beds too.
You can put them up there.
I like
Somehow,
that bed.
somehow after Grandpa passed away, Isaac and Matt ended up with the biggest room.
Yeah.
Is it nice up there?
Well, you always slept up there, didn't you, Matt? Yeah, Matt was always up there.
I
Even
was
when
in the
Gramps was
bed
up there.
that Isaac's in now.
Actually, I originally was up there with Grandpa, and then my Uncle Scott passed away. So I inherited that bedroom. So that's kind of just been where I've been.
Yeah.
Dad's always been upstairs.
For the ease of getting our shit, it's nice being on the first floor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like not having to travel upstairs every time we want to grab something.
Right.
Because we bring so much crap.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
There was like 72 pairs of boots in there.
I took a picture of that with my phone because it was literally obnoxious how many boots were in that.
I only brought
kitchen.
2 pairs.
That's
But if everybody brings 2 pairs, I mean, that's
16.
that's a lot of boots.
all
I brought 3.
You brought
I
3?
brought 2 pairs.
How did you bring?
3.
I brought 3.
Just because I got my camp boots.
Well, those are
Those are sweet.
fancy camp boots.
Normally, I would have just drove down in my Crocs like I always do, but since it was raining and muddy and Kevin was stuck, I'm like, I'm going to need another pair of boots.
Yeah. Actually, I did bring 3 pairs because I did bring my cowboy boots,
See?
but they're in the back of my truck. I didn't put
Okay.
them in the
Wait
house.
a minute. So did I. I wore a pair down and brought 2.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
I
wore a pair
left mine
down
in my
and brought
truck
2.
though.
I wore my Crocs.
I've never
down.
seen more boots in my life.
A lot of boots.
The amount of boots is crazy. Maybe, do you think, is there any chance that Isaac is in there doing the dishes and mopping the floors?
I hear noises in there.
Cleaned up. He just came out, or he was going to come out with a
Dude,
trash
that'd be
bag.
amazing. We've been all taking turns with the cleaning this week and the dishes. Matt made like every year we keep adding to our water system. We have a tank outside the house and plumbing now, but there's something. What's the reason why that pump keeps turning on for like half a second? There's a leak somewhere.
Well, the sprayer on the faucet must have froze over the winter last year.
Gotcha.
And sprung a leak, and now the faucet itself has one somewhere.
We're just
so
gonna
we
get a
need
new
to
one.
replace the whole thing.
It's on the list, just like your ladder to the bunk bed.
I've been in this bunk bed now for I don't know 5
And
or
the,
6 5
and
or
the
6
shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do owe shelves, but I've been in a bunk bed for 5 or 6 years down here, and I don't have a ladder up to it yet. I'm like a high rope guy trying to get on my bunk.
Yeah, one of
every
these
night.
years you're not going to make it.
I can still get
We're
up there.
both going to be on the bottom bunk.
Yeah, I can still make it up there first try. And I do. I was going to build a
no power
shelving.
tools.
I had to build a shelving system underneath the TV. I have one suggestion, one request for next year. When we fill the water up outside, can we use a little bit less bleach in the water?
I don't know what happened.
Our water is slippery. Like, it's hard to explain.
slippery.
It's so bleachy that it's like viscous.
It is.
I was up there like smelling my hands in the mountains. It smells like bleach. My camo's probably all gonna turn white, but
That's because we're getting the runoff from the neighbor's shower.
well, that we're getting
In
and
the
their
creek.
septic. Their septic goes in that creek
It
for
probably
sure.
does.
I don't think they shower.
Well, they might not, but I just wanted to put half a bottle in there to be safe.
Well, that water is definitely safe and then some.
Yeah.
It works though. It's nice to be able to rinse the dishes off and shit. I'll tell you that.
Clean.
Clean for sure.
We need to run the gutters into it, but then the gutters fill up with all the pine needles and everything.
Yeah, you get all
Yeah,
that
it's
crap
like-
from the gutters.
It'd be nice to have the tank in the ground so it doesn't freeze.
Well, we got to get that gutter guard up there, and then
I have
good
actually
to go.
have a gutter guard, but
Drill well.
yeah, eventually a well would be nice. But I think it's time to go inside and celebrate Chris's buck a little bit. I'm getting kind of chilly.
All I know is now we're off to Ohio.
Yeah, we got a lot of deer to kill in Ohio. You don't, but the rest of us do.
Yep.
A lot of deer to kill.
Hopefully, we'll keep this going.
I am happy to see that this year the guys that weren't able to get bucks last year, Freeman and you, were able to get bucks this year. So
It was a slump buster, that's for sure. It's been
It
a
was.
couple years since I've gotten one.
yeah,
So,
that's a good one. It's a good one to break that slump. Keep it going in Ohio.
Yep.
Hope you
Hopefully.
get one dirt shotgun week.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Deer Shot Podcast, episode number 71. We're out.
Hasta Gore.
Peace.
Peace. We're going to go party in the cabin with our 6 beers.